What's up, YouTube? Now, you see the title of this video, and you see the picture on the screen. Now, I feel like I say this in almost every video that I upload or I've uploaded in the past, but it's been a while since I've uploaded a video. From looking at my past video I uploaded. I'm getting lots of situated in my personal life. I'm not really gonna get into that right now. That's not anything in it. That's not the topic of this video. Like I said, you see the title of the video, and just because I haven't been uploading YouTube videos does not mean that I'm not aware of what's going on in the black sector of YouTube, in the toxic sector, which y'all call the black sector of YouTube. Full of nothing but toxicity and stupidity, which is the custom of these niggas on YouTube and social media in general. And, I've been looking at a lot of the stuff going on YouTube. I'm not really the only social media platform I really use for the most part is YouTube, and maybe Instagram, every now and then. I'm really not using too many social media platforms. A lot of them have become, especially when I'm looking at the black sector, I just can't do it. Facebook, I mean, my God, you niggas have destroyed Facebook. I mean, I might have to make a separate video on that alone, just how niggas have destroyed every social media platform that they have encountered. YouTube, thank God, is such a big platform, and it has so many genres on here and so many things you can do. Of course, since being YouTube, you know how the nature of YouTube and how it operates, that you really don't have to be bombarded with the savagery of you niggas. But when you go to places like Facebook, maybe even Instagram at times, the only reason I use Instagram is because it's not that that messed up. So I don't have to be that, I guess you could say, inundated with the stupidity of you niggas. So Instagram is pretty manageable. And there's some other platforms, but mostly I use YouTube and Instagram. A lot of these, I'm saying, a lot of these social media platforms, you niggas have destroyed. Clubhouse, I mean, I might have to make a separate video on that for sure, because you niggas destroy every social media platform. And what makes it worse is since Clubhouse is, since it's like when I first heard of it, it was toxicity. So I'm like, I already know it's messed up. From the first time I even heard about Clubhouse, it was some dumb shit. So I'm like, I'm not even about to even be delving on that, because like these niggas destroy every platform. This is what niggas do. Y'all destroy every single social media platform y'all encounter, y'all enter. Now you might be like, why am I saying all this? Well, like I said, just because I haven't been uploading videos does not mean that I have not been, looking at social media, particularly, like I said, the black sector YouTube, and analyzing what's going on with you niggas on YouTube. And I find it to be hilarious. I found it to be just absolutely hilarious. I find it to be hilarious how these niggas on YouTube, particularly, like I said, in the toxic sector, and particularly, like I said, you see the title of the video, so you already know what we're talking about. We're talking about these black women on social media, these divestors, all of these women, and we're going to just do a thorough breakdown. And I have something I'm going to read. I've been meaning to make this video for quite some time, but I never got to it. I'm just like, it's time to make this video, because as time progresses, we start to see that everything that a lot of black men have been saying on, particularly like in the black manosphere, has been proven right. And it's been proven right by black women themselves. And they might be like, what do you mean? Well, like I said, I've been looking at a lot of stuff, and, recently we've had the fall of one of these dating coaches, April Mason. And, I'm actually do a separate video on that, because that is some deep stuff to break down. Just her tweet and all the stuff she was saying. I mean, she pretty much vindicated everything black men have been saying on the black manosphere for the longest. And, I'm going to actually see if I can get the tweet itself. Like I said, I don't know if it was, I heard about it and I heard some of the stuff that was said in the tweet. I actually haven't read the tweet myself. I'm going to see if I can get a hold of the tweet, and I might actually have it in the video, and I'm just going to read it, do a video, a breakdown of it, because it definitely is telling that everything she was saying, black men have been saying. And it also it also opens up a question, but I'm going to save that for the video I do on it. But it also opens up a question that I have that I haven't really heard a lot of people, talk about. I've watched some videos of people talking about April Mason and, her not being a dating coach anymore. And, there's a question that people aren't asking that I haven't heard from anybody so far. And I'm gonna present that question in the video I do on it. But besides all that, like I said, you have this, April Mason, the dating coach. She's done. She's just said, man, I can't help these black women, man. They're something's wrong with them, man. And she, like I said, she broke it down in her tweet. If any of you've read it, and it's just like, my God, these women. She was basically just repeating everything black men have been saying in the black manosphere. And one thing she said though that I really want to, that we're gonna delve into in this video is when she said that they're just mean people. Now, we're gonna break this down because that goes into the topic of this video. That's pretty much all I'm addressed on the stuff she said. One of the things she said was they're just mean people. Now we're gonna break this down because we really, all this stuff aside, all of this race stuff aside, all of this, this toxicity of these niggas, we really just gonna break down the mind here. We're gonna delve into the mind, and that's why I got this picture on the screen as you see the DSM-5. Because what we're going to do is we're just going to do a psychological breakdown of this black woman on social media and the savagery that she is engaging in. Really, you niggas in general, including you black men, but that's a whole nother video as well. The savagery that you monkeys are engaging in on social media. Because this really needs to be broken down from a psychological standpoint. The only way you can understand the behavior that you're seeing from these black women in particular, especially on YouTube and social media in general, is delving into psychological disorders, because this is what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with mentally ill women, man. We're dealing with a group of women who are devoid of reason, devoid of just so many things. And like I said, this is why I'm gonna go ahead and read this because what you have to understand is like I said, you see the title of the video, and I'm also, like I said, so you see the title, we're gonna touch on this whole, because I really wasn't going to talk about it because I'm not surprised. Like I said, I already understand what these black women are. I understand who they are, these black women on social media, because I've studied these niggas. I've sat back and just looked at the behavior, the videos they make, and I've come to the conclusion and understanding of them through the lens of psychology and looking into, I've always been the type of guy who's liked delving into the mind and, how not only how humans think, but animals too, birds, all types of animals. I'm the type of, that's kind of like what I like to do, delve into behaviors and stuff. So, I just sat back and studied these savages. And I'm particularly talking about these black women on social media. I've sat back and just analyzed these savages for a second, and, and of course, analyze these black men, analyze those savages as well. And I really just sat back and analyzed all of the behaviors that these niggas are engaging in. And, I can't, particularly with these black women on social media, like I said, I've been analyzing, looking at this shit, and I really just sat back and I'm just looking at it, and I'm reading up on so many things, so many books I've been reading up on behavior and all that. And, it's very evident, and I don't think anyone can debate this, that what we're dealing with when we're dealing with these black women on social media is they are suffering from a plethora of mental disorders. But one of the main mental disorders that they are suffering from, which I don't even think is deniable once I read this, I'm just going to read it off. I'm going to read off this, I'm going to read off this article. Well, not article. It's from a book. You should probably get a hint on what I'm going to go at here, but I'm going to read this off concerning, this particular disorder and then I'm gonna tell you what the disorder is. Some of y'all may already know from maybe you watched some people talk about it before, but maybe some people have, a few people do. But I'm gonna read off this trait, this disorder that these black women are suffering from. Then I'm gonna tell you what the disorder is, and because I don't want to say it yet, I'm gonna just read it off and just apply it to these black women on social media. Because when I first read it myself, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is every behavior you're seeing from these black women on social media. It is absolutely, it's absolutely, scary. How everything was just matching perfectly. But so before we even get into that, well, you know what? Let me stop. I might as well just say, I'm gonna just say what the disorder is. I mean, there's no reason to do that. Um, these black women on social media are suffering from narcissistic personality disorder, and this isn't just these black women on social media. This is a lot of these niggas in general, but particularly we're focused on these black women on social media. If you just look at their behaviors and you look into and read up on the narcissistic personality disorder, that is literally, you're reading about these black women on social media, these divestors, these swirlers, these so-called level up chicks. Like I said, I'm gonna address because I wasn't gonna address this because I'm not surprised. This whole Cynthia G talking about aborting black males, and wait, you know what? I'm gonna address that a little bit more after I'm done reading this narcissistic personality disorder, because there's something about that just shows how dumb like Cynthia G is. I'm sorry, like the bitch is dumb, and it doesn't make any sense. Well, it does make sense because I understand what she's trying to do. Because the thing that confuses me with that is, like, I'll get to it, but we're gonna read this narcissistic personality disorder, and you're gonna just see how this applies to all these black women on social media. Even these content creators. I just mentioned Cynthia G. She's also suffering from said disorder. I'm not gonna debate this. There's no reason to. I'm not gonna do it because it's very evident when you see their behaviors and how they're acting that this is what they are suffering from. Now, I am not no psychologist or psychiatrist or none of that. I can't diagnose nobody. But what I can do is I can read this off, and you could just come to the conclusion yourself on whether this what I'm reading up on is, does it match the behaviors that you're seeing from these black women on social media? That's all you need to do. Don't take me as some type of psychiatrist to diagnose somebody. I'm not diagnosing nobody. I'm simply going to read it, and then you can come to your own conclusion and see, oh, well, it does kind of sound like them. So I'm just going to start reading this. I'm going to start rambling. We're just going to read it, and we're going to just break down. I'm going to actually just read stuff, and I'm going to apply it to their behavior. That's what I'm going to do. And you just tell me, is this not the truth? So I have it right here. We're just going to start reading it. We're just going to start reading it. And I'm going to break it all down. So I'm going to start right now. Narcissistic personality disorder. And we're going to start here. A pervasive pattern of grandiose, which basically is like in basically believing that you are, basically it's like believing you're high and mighty, you're great. And it basically says, in fantasy or behavior, need for admiration. And if you see this all the time from these black women on social media. They are in constant need of admiration. They're in constant need to be seen as greater than someone else. They're in constant need of being uplifted. This is why you see them complaining about not being presented in the media and whatnot. And that's another video I need to address, because that, there's so many layers to the behavior they're engaging in, but that's another video I'm going to address. But they're in constant need to be admired and in constant need for admiration, and more, not only in admiration, but they want to be seen above others. We'll get into that in a second. But like I said, in fantasy or behavior, need for admiration and lack of empathy. And I mean, my God, the lack of empathy part is deep, because this is, like I said, these women, like I made a video, I think my last video, it was about these women I view them as the Terminator. Anybody seen the movie Terminator? I'm pretty sure everyone's heard Terminator. This is how I view these black women. They are like the Terminator. They are without empathy, without a soul. I mean, like I just said, Cynthia G, I'm gonna address that in a second once I'm done reading this, talking about aborting black males. This is a group of women who lack empathy. I believe they lack souls, man. I believe they lack humanity, man. And these are the women that are raising children. Then you wonder why we're dealing with the stuff we're dealing with in the black community. We're dealing with a group of women who are so demonic and, you know, my next video I'm gonna do now, because I just said that, I'm gonna break down the Jezebel spirit, man, because this shit is real. Anybody who doesn't want to believe in spirits and the spiritual realm, I honestly kind of have to question your intelligence, because it's very evident that there is a spiritual realm and there are spirits and other beings in this earth. I mean, that's a whole another topic in itself. But I'm gonna break down the Jezebel spirit, because that right there is what these black, I mean, I'm gonna read up on that too, because that is literally what these black women are, the Jezebel spirit, man. So, like I said, they lack empathy. This is one of the traits of a narcissistic person. This is one of the traits of a narcissist. They lack empathy. They only think they lack, like they're just evil. They lack souls. They lack the ability to empathize with others. This is why they talking about aborting black male babies. You had black women laughing at George Floyd's death. These are demonic women, man. So let's gonna keep reading it. Need for admiration and lack of empathy, beginning by early adulthood and present in a variety of contexts, as indicated by 5 or more of the following. And number 1, has a grandiose sense of self-importance. Like I said, they believe they're more important than they are. They believe that they are better than they are. This is why they don't want to, when people try to tell them, this is why, going back to the April Mason, where April Mason was basically saying, I'm done with these black women, man, because they, one of the things she was, like I said, one of the things she said was they don't want to improve, they want to work on themselves. They believe, and that goes into that, that sense of self-importance. Like, they believe they're so important that they don't even have to change themselves. They believe they are above reproach. So here we go. Has a grandiose sense of self-importance. Exaggerates achievements and talents. Expects to be recognized as superior without without achievements. To be so basically, they believe that they believe that they don't need to accomplish anything to be recognized as a superior, to be recognized as great. That goes into them believing that they don't need to work on themselves. They believe that they are already superior. They believe they are already on the throne. They believe that they don't have to do anything to be recognized as being on the top, because they are already there. This is the mindset that they have. So now number 2, is preoccupied with fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, beauty, or ideal love. So basically, that's another thing. They have these fantasies of being successful, and that goes into the divest group. What do the divestors do? They constantly dream, and they constantly they are salivating at the thought of getting a white man who they believe will take care of them. And it's not even, actually, man. I used to actually believe that, but once I started looking into anybody knows about David Carroll, it's a lot deeper than just someone to be quote unquote provided for. That's a whole nother video, and I've been meaning to make the video about their self-hatred. And this also is going to go into, actually, this narcissistic personality disorder is going to go into that self-hatred, but when it comes to them chasing after white men, it's not really always about being provided for. That's one of the things they try to use to bash black men, because they want to say black men are all broken, dusty, and all this, and they need to date out to get a white man. The truth about that is, a lot of these women suffer from self-hate, and they want to get as David Carroll would say, a mongrel half-breed dirty baby with green eyes and good hair. It's not really even about provisions and being protected and all this dumb shit they're talking about. It has everything to do with their hatred of themselves. These black women are suffering from immense self-hatred. And they want to try to make it seem like it's black men who are suffering from the most self-hatred, but it's them. A lot of these women wake up every day hating what they see. They have to try to make it seem like they're happy, but they're not. They are very, very, very miserable in their lives. So a lot of these women, it doesn't matter what money that the white dude's making. He could be broke. It doesn't matter, because what he's bringing to the table for them is the ability to erase that which they hate, and that is their blackness. So these women, they fantasize about being with Brad. These divestors, they fantasize about, oh, I just want to get me a non-black man. That goes into that, as I just read, that fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, beauty. They want to be seen as more beautiful than everyone, even though they do no work to improve themselves, and want to try to actually, no, I'm gonna save that. But yeah, they want to be seen as better than everyone. Like I said, is preoccupied with fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, beauty, and ideal love. Now, number 3, believes that he or she is special and unique and can only be understood by or should associate with other special or high, let me turn this real quick, or high status people or institutions. So, that goes into their other mindset where they believe that they're so high status. They're so, we the most educated of any groups and stuff like that. And they believe that the only people that can understand them is people who think like them. But what that brings is toxicity, because you can have a group of people who all think messed up and they think they're right and they think they're special and they're a part of some real special group. And, that goes into the divestors and all these women following these toxic content creators like Cynthia G. Like I said, I'm going to address that in a second. That's a group of women who are in a cult. Cynthia G's channel and all others like her, they're cults. And that's the mindset of people in cults. Cults believe that they are so high up that only people that think like them can understand them. This is why people in cults, when you don't agree with their sentiments, the person in a cult will say, "Oh, you just don't get us because we are enlightened. We are special. We are the enlightened ones, and we know when it comes to religious cults, oh, God has chosen us, and we are the enlightened ones. We have been chosen by the gods," and all this other dumb shit. That goes into the same thing with these divestors. They believe that only others that believe and think like their retarded mindset can somehow, that only they are a special group. They actually believe this. So number 4, requires excessive admiration. We already pretty much broken that down. They require excessive admiration. They require to be seen as, desirable constantly. This is why they're always searching on social media to find some white man who said, "Oh, I like black women," or any non-black man who says he likes black women, because they're constantly seeking to be admired by non-black men because of their self-hatred, and they want to erase themselves. So that goes into that. Number 5. Hold up. Okay, never mind. Number 5, has a sense of entitlement. Oh my God, man! And this was what was in April Mason's tweet, I believe. She said that these black women are entitled. They believe that they deserve everything without bringing anything to the table. Oh my God, it's just crazy reading this, and it's like, this is them, man. And there's no way you can deny it, man. There's no way you can deny this. If we're really just being honest and sitting back and looking at this, an honest discussion, man, you can't deny this. I don't care. You can, of course, any of these divestors were to watch this video, all they're going to do is just call me Dusty, you're conquered. I mean, these bitches are stupid. But from an intellectual standpoint, they can't mess with me because they're not smart. A lot of these divestors, they're dumb. Cynthia G, she's not the brightest bulb on the tree. A lot of these niggas are dumb. It's just facts. But I'm going to continue reading this because I'm not done. Number 5, has a sense of entitlement. Unreasonable expectations, man. April Mason put that in the tweet too. This is crazy. This is crazy. I actually forgot a lot of this was here, so I'm just like, my God. April Mason, they have unreasonable expectations, man. Unreasonable expectations of especially favorable treatment or automatic compliance with his or her expectations. I am reading the black woman on social media. I am reading the mental illness that they suffer from. I am reading the mindset of the divestors. I am reading the mindset of your Cynthia G's. I am reading the mindset of your swirlers. I am reading the mindset of the modern day black woman. There's no way around this, man. There's no way around it. My goodness. So like I said, unreasonable expectations of especially favorable treatment or automatic compliance with his or her expectations. Okay. His or her expectations. I'm gonna read that one more time because that's just deep, man. It's everything, man. Unreasonable expectations of especially favorable treatment or automatic compliance with his or her expectations. Oh my goodness, man. I'm gonna read that one more time. I want y'all to let this sink in, man, because this is deep. And this is the narcissistic personality disorder, man. Everything I've read so far applies to these women. Unreasonable expectations of especially favorable treatment or automatic compliance with his or her expectations. Now, number 6 is interpersonally explode. Damn, I can't even say that word. Oh, I'm tripping, man. Number 6 is interpersonally exploitative, takes advantage of others to achieve his or her own ends. Oh my God, man. It's just crazy reading this, man. That is another one of the things they do. They want to take advantage of others, man. And that a lot of these women, when they talk about dating out and looking for a non-black man, they want to take advantage of his money. It's really a lot of times it's about the money that they want, or like I said, the half-breed child. It's all about taking advantage of others, man. They're all about taking advantage of others, using others to meet their own goals, as it says, to achieve his or her own ends. Now, number 7, lacks empathy. I mean, we already broke that down. The lacking of empathy. They're talking about aborting black males. I'm gonna get that at with the Cynthia G piece. I'm gonna address that in a second. Talking about aborting black males. All the sick stuff I've seen them say on social media. Laughing at George Floyd's death. They're sitting up here calling black men apes, roaches, and all this, not knowing that applies to them too because they're black. But we know black women hate themselves and want to disconnect themselves from blackness. We understand this, the self-hatred of the black woman. All the sick stuff they say on social media, always laughing at black men when it becomes a hashtag, gets shot by the police. We understand this is the mindset of your queen. And this is to you dumbass black men who sit around defending these broads, these Straggs. This is your queen, man. This is your queen. This is your queen. Taz the Goat exclusives. This is your queen I'm reading up on. Oh my God. This is your queen, man. This is your queen that you were trying to protect. This is your queen that you get on panels with that's talking about abortion. I might make a separate video on that. I watched the live stream, man. It had me shaking my head. Well, you had this nigga Taz, and Taz is not the only one, but the only reason I'm mentioning him is because I'm sitting back like, man, black men, y'all dumb. As David Carroll says, man, black men are dumb. They're just not the brightest bulbs on the tree, and they are certainly not the sharpest knives in the drawer. You got this nigga Taz sitting on a panel, and you got black women on the mug. Cynthia G was on there talking about aborting black males. And you had this nigga Taz on there not saying shit. And you had another, I mentioned it before, Red Supreme TV1. That's my brother. I listen to him every now and then. And he was sitting up there like, nigga. Cynthia G was trying to go at Red because I guess Red talks about her in some of his live streams. He'll make live streams about her talking, roasting her shit, which I find hilarious that she has a problem with that when she does nothing but talk about black men. But we understand these bitches are dumb. So she has a problem with Red making videos about her, but she can make videos about black men. And I don't understand the logic, but like I said, she's dumb. So she was trying to go in on Red, talking over him, not letting him talk, and all the typical mindset of a Stragg like her. And she was talking about aborting black males on there, and you got Taz just sitting up there not saying shit. These are black men, y'all dumb. But and I'm just like, man, you black men that defend these women, man, y'all gotta be some of the dumbest niggas on the globe, man. Y'all really are. I mean, it's just. I'm going to say this, and I don't care what anybody thinks about this, but black people in general are the dumbest race on the fucking planet. There's no debating it. Y'all are the dumbest race that have ever walked the earth. It's just facts, man. Just facts. But like I said, that nigga Taz was sitting up on there, and he was just hearing the shit, just no empathy, talking about killing babies, and he's just sitting there. He's a black male, just a dumb black man. Just shit's crazy, man. Shit is insane. But like I said, we're gonna continue to read this. Number 7, lacks empathy, is unwilling to recognize or identify with the feelings and needs of others. Yep. Number 8, is often envious of others. My God, man. This goes into the envy that they have of Becky, non-black women in general, and that's a thing. And a lot of people talk about it, but it's something that we really haven't delved into a lot. Their jealousy of Becky. They have a serious hatred and envy of Becky. A serious hatred and envy of Becky, man. So like I said, number 8 is often envious. Number 8 is Number 8 is often envious of others or believes that others are envious of him or her. And they also, what they like to say too is that Becky's jealous of them and all these non-black women jealous of them and want to beat him. That's another trait of a narcissist. Number 9, shows arrogant, haughty behaviors or attitudes. I mean, black men been talking about their attitudes all this time. They've been talking about their haughty spirit. Speaking of that, I'm gonna save that. Their arrogance, absolutely insane. That's pretty much all I gotta read on that. That's done. I mean, there's actually more. There's actually more about the narcissistic personality disorder I can read up on, but I might do a separate video on that. It's gonna have to be a part 2 because there's so much, man, and it all applies to them. But that's all I'm gonna read for right now. That's all I'm gonna read. I'm gonna go ahead and touch up on the Cynthia G talking about aborting black male babies and how that is the dumbest shit ever when you actually analyze it from an intellectual position. And then I'm gonna end this video. So when you have Cynthia G talking about aborting black males, and when I first saw this stupid shit, I was hearing people talk about it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not shocked. And I was like, let me just go hear a gist of it because I want to hear what's the dumb shit being said that can be easily debunked, as everything she says is easily debunked. And I'm listening to it, and off rip, I'm already, the question that I have that I haven't really heard a lot of people say is, or ask is, okay, you're saying aborting black males. You women who watch, a lot of the women who watch Cynthia G claim to be divested, and we divested from the knackers and all this retarded shit that these savages say. So I'm listening to the monkeys, reading the stuff the monkeys are putting in the comment section, and I'm like, hold up. How are you talking about aborting black males if you were divested? If you don't deal with black men, you're not going to have to worry about aborting a black male because you're dealing with non-black men because y'all so desired and everybody checking for y'all. So y'all shouldn't be worried about not being able to get a non-black man, and you shouldn't even be focused on black men in the first place. You shouldn't even be making videos on black men in the first place because you divested. But of course, we understand these niggas are dumb. So I'm sitting back looking at this stupid shit. And I'm trying to understand how you talking about aborting black males when you obviously, these women are saying they're gonna divest. You don't have to worry about aborting a black male if you're divested. You're not dealing with black men. Black men are not on your radar. You divested to greener pastures. You with your white king. You with all these other non-black men. They love y'all. They want to be with y'all. They want to have families with y'all. They love y'all. Y'all the most desired women's on the face of the planets. Everybody checking for y'all. Y'all the most desired. Ain't nobody close in proximity to y'all in desirability. Y'all the most desired queens on the planet. So I'm trying to understand how you're talking about aborting black males when y'all have divested and y'all don't deal with black men. I'm trying to understand how you're constantly making goofy ass videos about black men if you don't deal with them. I'm trying to understand you savages, but I can't because black people are dumb. And there's just no other way around this shit. There's no way you can debate it. There's no way you can try to rationalize these niggas. Well, you can try to rationalize it. And it all comes down to these niggas are mentally ill, man. And I've said this in past videos. A lot of these niggas need to be in mental institutions, man. Cynthia G needs to be in a mental institution. All of her followers needs to be in a mental institution. Any of you black men following her needs to be in a mental institution. All of you savages need to be in mental institutions. There's no debating this. This behavior is abnormal. This is why I have this picture on the screen. The DSM-5, American Psychiatric Association. This is DSM-5, and you know about it. It's the Diagnostic Statistical Manual for mental disorders. It's a manual used to diagnose mental disorders. As I just said, the Diagnostic Statistical Manual. It's used to identify and diagnose mental disorders of mentally ill people. And the DSM-5, meaning volume 5, this volume 5 of it. And these niggas need to be in mental hospitals, and they need to be diagnosed as mental disorders. David Carroll says a lot in his videos, and at first I would laugh at it, but now I am fully convinced, man. These niggas are fucked up, man. There's no way you can rationalize this shit. There's no other way, man. There's nothing else these niggas are engaging in some of the weirdest behavior. You don't see no other race getting on any social media platform putting all of their toxicity out but blacks. Y'all dumb. But I'm going to end this video. It's been going on too long. Like I said, man, these black women are suffering from narcissistic personality disorder. Cynthia G is how can I put this? She's a mentally ill Stragg. That's all I'm saying. I only wanted to touch on her, the whole aborting black males thing, because people were talking about it. I'm like, I don't see why y'all surprised. You shouldn't be shocked. Have you seen her? Have you anybody was listen to some of the stuff she says. She's obviously very angry. She wants to try to trigger black men with her content. This is what I honestly believe she wants to do. She thinks that what she does is triggering black men. She wants to try to trigger black men. I laugh at it because it's hilarious. It's really just comedy. I will say one thing. She definitely is hilarious. That is one thing I'll say about her. She definitely is comedic. She should pursue a career in comedy. But other than that, she's dumb. But like I said, these black women on social media are suffering from narcissistic personality disorder. And there's actually other ones too that I could read up on. But like I said, I'm going to make separate videos on that. I'm going to do a part 2 of this one, reading on the narcissistic personality disorder, because I'm not done. I need to read up more on that. There are actually way more things I need to read up on. And we're going to do that in my next video. Well, no, my next video is going to be on the Jezebel spirit. And then after that, I might do the part 2 of this. But other than that, man, I'm about to end this video. I'm about to go do some shit. These niggas are dumb. There's really nothing else to be said.